friends, I welcome you to another episode of Adhitya Talk. And today we have Miss Urvija Upadhayay on our show, and she's an extremely skilled voiceover artist, and she is going to talk with us today, and she's going to share a lot of experiences. So stay tuned till the end. Well, welcome to the show, ma'am.
Hello. Hi, Aditya.
Well, thank you for coming on the show, ma'am. Uh, so let's begin with the interview. Your voice is like music to like it's to ears like to many, and like every word pronounced let you travel through a story. So please, please tell us, like you have been in corporate like for almost 8 years. How did you develop this passion of speaking and especially doing voiceovers? Is there anything which you can point out from your childhood? Please tell us about your story in detail to understand how you developed your passion for voiceover, like for being a voiceover artist.
Okay. I think I've always had it somewhere, and my corporate career was for 7.5, 8 years during, right after my college, or you could say second year of my college, I started with my corporate job. So I did it for 7.5 years. But of course, at the back of my mind, I always wanted to do something creative, and it's been with me, I think, right from my childhood, as you said. So there are many things. Cinema, I think, was a great contributor in in what made my mind. I think also I had a great teacher when I was very young. I remember I had this English teacher who would make us get up and read the character. CBSE board had such English stories in it that, the character would speak in the story. So he would give different characters to different students, and then he'd ask them to get up and read that, or sit down or read that character for the entire class. So you develop a flair, you want to be heard, you don't want to be boring. So that it makes you a little animated in your storytelling. So he really, I think, encouraged that in me and many other students. But as a child, we were not very aware that there is a whole profession, around voiceovers. So I'm sure you'll talk about that later. But in my childhood, I remember watching a lot of cinema, and during my entire life, I think I watched a lot of cinema, and that had a lot of contribution in what I wanted to do.
Okay, so that is very interesting. Now, please tell us about your achievements. And are you satisfied now after pursuing your passion like for quite some time now?
Um, you're asking if I'm satisfied with my job. Is that what you're asking?
Yes, yes. What was the
Yes,
feel after starting and doing this, and like how do you feel now?
I feel great. I feel so at home. I know that this is what I want to do. So I was very confused, as one of my mentor would say to me, that I was very confused about everything. But with this being my career, this is very certain. This is something that makes me feel comfortable, and this is what I want to do. Success or satisfaction is definitely with, I wouldn't say that I would ever be satisfied. No artist would say that, or no inventor, nobody who is doing any sort of creative job, even like there's never going to be extreme satisfaction. It will always be a journey. But if you ask me on a daily basis, I'm much satisfied that this is the job that I do, and I don't have to deal with numbers and charts and stuff. Yeah,
Yes.
corporate
That
stuff.
is that was amazing. So, what are your future plans now, and how success in your life would look like in the future?
Um, I think success. I think the definition of success is going to change at each stage. But for me, getting each job, is success. Because let me tell you, there is a thorough process for each brand that picks our voice. goes through a few of the voices, and then they select your voice. So every time it's a success that you get a job. There's a whole lot of competition. Of course, there wasn't much awareness earlier, but now there are many artists, and a lot of people want to do this, and I see very genuine interest. So for me, I think success would be that I can travel, I can do whatever I can with this profession, and it's already given us that. These times, these Corona times, has made us do all our jobs from home. So our home has become a studio for us. Every artist has a little corner dedicated for their studio. So I think success will keep changing. Right now, I feel pretty content and satisfied, but I know that every day I'm going to challenge myself, so it will change. Future,
Ah,
I see
ah,
traveling.
yeah. So what are, you like you told about the challenges? Like many people now face challenges as a voiceover artist in India. Please describe them and elaborate about that.
Okay. Okay. I think the one major challenge was that there was no exposure regarding this job. People didn't know this as a profession. People knew of acting, and most of the actors would do the voiceovers. And we had great voiceovers, like in Mahabharat, and I'm not sure if you are aware of this series called Mahabharat. It used to be on television, and the opening of that series was to be a voiceover where the guy would say, "Main samay hoon," and people thought that people didn't think about voiceovers. They thought of actors. So the first challenge, I think, was exposure. I'm not sure if it is still a challenge, because for my world has been made aware of voiceovers and everything, but I don't know if a lot of children know of that, or a lot of people know of that as a proper profession. But thank God for these awards and ceremonies that have made people aware that there is a category called voiceovers. I think that was a great challenge, the exposure around the job. Second, I think the challenge is network. How does one know where to get the job? Even if one starts to work on their speaking abilities, and if you take certain lessons around speech and voiceovers, how do you get to know the network, where where do you knock to get the job? That's a challenge for a lot of people. Even if you're good in theater, like I also did theater, that really helped. But for a lot of people, even if they're good actors, and they're already acting in series and stuff, they don't know where to find the voiceover jobs. So the network is another challenge. The rest is very skill challenges. Like, however, this particular profession just accepts anyone and everyone. You cannot have, voices are so peculiar, and everybody has this different timber. In police forces and spy forces, they identify you through your voice. So every human being has a particular unique timbre. So this is a very accepting job. However, the major challenges of knowing where to go and things like that make it difficult.
Yes.
I can go on,
Um.
Aditya.
Yes. Yes. Uh. So please, you talked about these challenges, but now please tell us about failures, rejections which you have faced, which made you like feel like completely giving up.
Completely giving up. See, there are still rejections. ऐसा नहीं होता that you become this queen of voiceovers. ऐसा नहीं है. There are still rejections, even if, as I said, the job has an extreme versatile. We have an extreme different characters for different voices, so not one voice can rule the entire thing. Every character has its own requirements, and everybody has. So for example, somebody is considering my voice for something but finds a more appropriate voice for that particular character, nothing to do with me, but that character will be fulfilled if that voice is casted, you know. So if
Yes.
they take that, if they take that person, so rejection turant ho jata hai. So you basically send your voice for something, and you know, somebody else is more of a fit, so you are rejected basically. So I'm pretty okay with it now, and it's been going on for years now, since the time I joined. I think after my corporate career, I started with voiceovers. Like after a gap of a year, I started with voiceovers. It's been more than 10 plus years in this job, and there are many rejections, many times that, you know, you've been told that you're not the voice we will hire, we will hire someone else. And also there was a time, you know, I was looking at your questionnaire and I was thinking about this time when I went to a studio. I was so new in the entire thing that I went to a studio and I expected to hire that studio and do my job. And that guy was like, "This is not how it works. You have to call in, you have to book the studio. You can't just show up and, you know, the studio would be yours." So that, and the rejection was so harsh that I was like, "Oh my God," you know. And about giving up entirely, that also happened twice, I guess, because, you know, the so you have to come
Yeah.
up with a lot of money on a monthly basis to survive. And if you're not getting enough work, you would automatically think that, you know, you should pack your bags and go back to your city where, you know, you don't have to pay rent and things like that. So that happened with me twice in the 10 years. I thought of going back, but then with good friends and good support from family, you were like, okay, let's carry on. And I carried on.
That was really interesting. And failures are whenever you have a failure is a part of life, and it happens
Absolutely.
anywhere and everywhere. No matter how good or how even if you are the best. So now, please, when do you when do you do your best job of giving voiceover? Have you missed that you should have do you miss that you should have shown your face to the audience when any commercial becomes successful with your voice but someone else's face?
No, no, not at all. Because I think I chose this because I told you I did theater, but I chose this because I'm so shy of the camera, and yet I have so much to show and so much to, you know, say. I want to be given the attention, but I'm so shy and nervous of the camera that you know, I try to avoid this interview forever because I didn't want to be on camera. But I
Uh,
don't feel like that. It's just fine.
yes. Well, everybody can communicate, and you're effective in your own way. I am more comfortable on camera more than on just talking with voice.
Yes,
But
you are very,
yeah,
yes.
yeah.
And
So
I hope one day I am, you know, one day probably I can be comfortable too, and then, you know, think of other things in life,
yes.
like acting.
Um. So please, did you do any course for voice modulation or improving pronunciation? Uh, please tell our viewers if any course is available for the same.
Uh, Actually, there are many people who are who give workshops, who have about 14 classes or 20 classes, and then you know, they impart that knowledge specifically on voiceovers. There are many people. I was mentored by this person called Francois Castellino. He is a working professional, a singer, voiceover artist, and a theater personality. He's been doing it for years now. And also, Aditya, he is also a national award winner. He won the national award for voicing an army non-feature film. It was sort of a documentary, I guess. So he got that award in 2018 for a 2017 film. And fortunately, I got in touch with him in 2014. One of my friends suggested his name to me, and because I was already doing voiceovers in Delhi, and then I moved to Bombay because I wanted to do more TV commercials, more creative work. I was getting very e-learning sort of work in Delhi. So when I moved here, one of my friends suggested that there's this person called Francois, and I got in touch with him, and he runs these workshops. Anybody who's interested in voiceovers can go and check it out on Facebook, or even if you type his name Francois, which is spelled Francois. That's his name, Francois, and Castellino, Castellino. So I'm marketing him because he is really great a teacher. He's very patient, and he really sorted out my network problem. As I told you, the network, you need to know where exactly to get the jobs and things like that. So as a teacher, he gives you the material to work on. For each individual, it's different, because you come from a particular knowledge, your pronunciations, BBC. In fact, we discussed BBC quite a bit. That BBC is a channel to watch to improve your pronunciation. Anybody who wants to do this job or anything around this, even if you want to be an actor, pronunciation or speech is very very important. And
Yes.
anybody from the voice industry will speak to you. They'll tell you that BBC, or checking out different kind of dictionaries for different words. You should be very conscious about the languages that you speak in. Like for me, it's English and Hindi. So as long as you are aware and you are conscious, and this is an everyday job, an everyday, every moment thing. When you listen to something, be it because we have so much technology around us, we have so much visual media with us. You have things happening, there's a lot of exposure. You can work on it on a daily basis by just interacting with the right people, or just listening to the right news channels or things like that. But Francois is a name I would suggest. Also, there are many other voice artists. Anybody who's interested can Google, names. Like they can say, looking for voice artists imparting voice knowledge, voiceover knowledge. And there are many classes, many names would come up, and
Yes.
many are good.
Yes. I would like to ask: is voiceover career like one of the best careers in in your opinion? If any of our viewers want to become a voiceover artist, then what will you suggest? And is it the industry they should go in, because you went in because you had a passion? But if someone just wants to come and just try you, and like he does not have a passion for it, but he just want to work in this industry.
See, passion is very important for any industry. I think if you really want to excel, passion is giving in your 100%, always looking out for it, right? That is what passion is. So, like any other industry, even in this industry, passion is definitely very, very important. However, I have read this somewhere, I guess, that hard work can also precede talent. Hard work is something that takes over anywhere. Even if you're not given 100% talent in you, if you have 100% hard work, you will get somewhere. So yeah, anybody who's interested enough, and even if you don't have the passion for it, but you are hardworking, you don't have that kind of talent, but you're hardworking, you want to do this, and you've set your mind to it, you can definitely do this. Anybody can do this. As I said, all kind of characters are there, all kind of roles are all kind of roles require you to speak, and it could be anyone. So for example, there is an animation going on between a mother and a son, then they would also require a son. It's not only a mother that can go on. So anybody, even a child, can be interested in it. There are child characters, child voice artists who are doing so well. I know of a boy who does so well. He's always called for different things. So as long as you have the passion, as long as you are certain of doing this, you can do it. I think it's a very nice profession. For me, it really worked because I did not know that this is going to happen to me. But for me, it worked out because I was too shy to go on camera and too nervous to go on camera. But I had this passion for acting and speaking, so it worked out for me. So anybody who is interested can definitely, and you have a lot of market in anywhere, like Facebook. I was just telling my husband the other day that Facebook gave me so much work, as when I moved to Bombay in 2013 or 14, I guess. There was this page called Media Jobs Daily, which has a lot of media jobs posted on it. And voiceovers was another thing that the requirements would come up on that page. It really helped me get a set of certain clients. For survival, you need all kind of money and for the rent money and things. And it gave Media Jobs Daily gave a lot of opportunities. So I'm certain if anybody who's interested can first go to Google, search on different voice artists and what do they say about the profession. You can also watch certain interviews for a lot of UK voiceover artists. I used to listen to all kind of voice artists. I still do. Also, Facebook pages are very helpful. There are so many pages like Media Jobs Daily. There are voiceover artists, voiceover groups. You just type the word voiceovers, and a certain number of pages would come up. So they can also go through that. And of course, there are workshops that these people give the voice artists. So that's another thing. And anybody, if you have access to an acting course, that will also help you because ultimately it is acting behind a mic. Ultimately, it's acting. So even if you have access to any kind of summer group where there are they're teaching you acting or something like that, you can do those courses. Yeah.
That was good. But so basically, it is a decent. You can get a decent career in the voiceover industry, and it is very. It is not. You can do it, and it's not the hardest of the careers, and it's not even the easiest. Like it's just it's good in your point of view. So
It's like,
uh, please tell
sorry.
us how do you get into the character or prepare yourself for voiceovers? Do you visualize while you're speaking?
Uh, yes, I do visualize a lot actually, but how do I get in the character? You just yeah, you feel for it in your head. You start imagining that, like recently I did something on Mother's Day, so you had to be Mother Nature. I mean, that was their concept in the video. So you start thinking on behalf of the earth. What does the earth think? Yeah, so you basically start imagining what that particular character would think in terms of the story, and then you try to relate. You think of people in your life, or the other people that you've met in your life, and you draw inspiration from that, and then you put in your that's I mean the process is different for everyone, but that's how it works for me. I think of somebody and try to transport myself into that situation.
Okay. Yes. Uh, so so please tell us about the short film that you like won a national award for.
This is called Madhubani, the Station of Colors. Madhubani is basically a railway station that they covered in paintings. The movie is about how it happened. Like that particular railway station is covered with Mithila paintings. That is an art form found around that area, Madhubani. And like there is an entire story around it that the station master of that station was suffering, and he had to report to certain bosses who were like, your station is so filthy and so not clean. And he was really worried how to get this the station, clean and improve the rank of the station in the railways or something like that. So this guy came up, he had a dream, and the goddess told him that you have this art form around you, and you can just cover the station in that art form. And that's exactly what he did. He hired all the women in that area, and the women who knew how to do the Mithila paintings, and also around the villages. He hired a lot of women, and all of them painted the entire thing with Mithila paintings. And now it is one of the most beautiful stations in our country. So the filmmaker made a non-feature film in Hindi on that particular station, and then he wrote a very good script, and he contacted me, and like he contacted a coordinator, and that coordinator called me, and they said that we have this film in making, and you should come and voice for it. They've selected your voice. So I went and did that, and it was really good because the written script was very, very good. So there was an entire feel to it, and then these people liked it. That's how it happened.
Yes. So that is pretty interesting. How did you feel when you first got the award, and what was your reaction?
Unreal. I was like, how did this happen? I'm so happy. Of course, somewhere, let me tell you, for the people who are watching, or for the purpose that you're doing these interviews for people, you have to dream. You have to dream big for it to come true. So somewhere in my head, I must have thought about it somewhere, though it is such a big dream to have. But I had that thing, that thought came to me a couple of times, and I was like, oh man, can this happen? And it did happen. I think you should dream big so that you land big somewhere. Yeah, I
Yes.
was very, very happy when it happened.
Yes. And when did you get the national award?
This was 2019 December. Usually the national awards happen around May, April, May. It happens, but 2019 they had certain elections, or some delay happened, so the government held the award ceremony in December 2019. So
Yes.
that's when it was.
Ma'am, so please tell us, how do you get your assignments easily, or what challenges did you face?
My assignments, the jobs that I get now,
Yes.
is that what you're saying? Okay, so now I know of, because of my experience, and I've been doing certain jobs for some time now. So I know of certain voice coordinators who know of the jobs, and then they know of the artists, so they connect the jobs and the artists in that form. So I know a lot of voice coordinators. Then there are studios that has my contact details, or straight away sometimes the agencies call you because they've heard of you through some people, or they know of you somehow. Also, I have my social handles where I keep posting my jobs, previous jobs, so that they can, anybody who's looking out online for a voice artist gets to know of my existence. So that also I do. And also for the kids, or for anybody who is interested in, even an adult, whoever is interested in voiceovers, if you get a voice demo, like acting has a show reel, you speaking of certain dialogues, and it's captured on camera, and you share that with the people who are looking to cast you. Same happens for voiceover artists. You make certain voice samples. So for me, of course, now I have certain videos already that I've worked on. But somebody who's not worked on anything can just hire a studio or just buy a mic, and at home they can record, whatever it is that they're looking at. Like take some TV commercials or radio spots, jot down the script for it, and speak those things according to you, how you would speak them, and you how would you say it, and then two three different kinds, like something emotional, something corporate, something imaginative, something grand. They can just pick up different things and make a voice demo, and then share it with people whenever, because anybody who gets in touch will then finally ask you. So for me to get assignments, even now I send my samples to them, and then they select on your voice, and then they go ahead with you. That's
Yes.
how I get my
Uh,
assignments, voice samples.
ma'am, let's begin with the next question. Please, can you do a voice over for my show and show the difference? How can a rightly done voice can impact any business?
Okay, I thought about it. I really don't. I don't think I can do something right now, but I can tell you in a very layman way that, for example, I had started with in-store radios. So I would say something like, Big Bazaar's in-store radio. So the script would say something like, Big Bazaar की monthly budget schemes में आपका स्वागत है. So no, you say something like that, so that it's very inviting for the people who are visiting Big Bazaar. That is the purpose, why somebody gets a voiceover done, is to either sell something or to tell a story, or to just generally have an opinion. So the purpose should be met. So for example, in this case, if we are selling something with Big Bazaar, this is how it is. But if you say something like बिग बाजार की मंथली बचत स्कीम्स में आपका स्वागत है, तो बंदा तो रो देगा, बहुत दुखी हो जाएगा वो. He would
Yes.
not be interested in buying any of your things. Okay? So every voiceover will have their essence in it.
Yes. So basically, you change your the emotion of the voice depending on the circumstances or the character or the
Correct.
character you're voicing.
Correct.
So if you want to invite people to buy something, you go for a more approach, and then and
Approach. Yeah.
if you're trying to warn people about something about COVID, then you try for a more sad approach, and so it's
Not
very
sad approach. Not sad, but yeah, more real and more,
yes.
warnings sort of a thing. Or yeah, if you're playing a wife on radio, a radio spot where they're talking about, what pharmaceutical, advertisement, where they're talking about what medicine to use for your kid. So you would be as real and compassionate, and how a mother is. So like that, with every role, of course, it would change.
Yes. So, ma'am, who are your role models? Because the work you do is you cannot do without inspiration, and you keep going. When you are at something, you need inspiration to keep going. So, who are your role models from whom you have been inspired the most, and why?
Uh, a lot of people, a lot of actors, anybody who can tell a story. I remember watching when we were younger, watching different films on or TV serials on TV, where the actors would be speaking, and I'd be like, "Oh my God, that's so nice! It will be just so nice to hear." Otherwise, if to take names, there was a series called Wonder Years. Okay, you can also check it out, Aditya, because it's about a 13-year-old boy or 14-year-old boy, how he grows up, and he keeps thinking in his head there is a narration going on. So that guy who did the narration his name is Daniel M. Stern. So that guy really inspired me as a narrator. And that guy plays. If you've seen the film Home Alone, I don't know if you've seen the film Home Alone. But in Home Alone, one of the bigger thieves, the first Home Alone series film, the bigger thief, the taller thief his name is Daniel M. Stern, and he is a fabulous narrator, a good actor, of course, and of course Amitabh Bachchan, and then you have Morgan Freeman. These guys, they are very inspiring. Meryl Streep, or I don't know the name of the actor, but the actor who narrated Memoirs of a Geisha. These are totally terms that you would not know, films you do not know because you are very young, and I've been around. So, but these are the people who inspire me, and
Yes.
it can be anyone,
Uh,
anybody who is speaking nicely.
yes. Ma'am, please advise two people whom you would like to see and learn from on this show.
Um, I haven't thought about that, but while I was talking, Francois is a very good person to talk to because he's a mentor, so he has seen a lot of students in his life, and he has he has a lot of experience, which I'm sure people would benefit. He's also had a TED talk. He's also been on TED Talk. Other than that, I know of so many women from different walks of life who do so well. I don't know if their success and their achievement has been awarded or appreciated, but they work in different corporate things. I'm not sure what exactly are you looking for on this platform. I mean, who else do you want to like? Do you have a particular cutoff that the person needs to achieve this much before I interview them? Do you have something like that?
What? Ex- uh, ex- Excuse me?
Do you have a cutoff? Do you have a cutoff? Like somebody should be that successful
No,
for that
no,
person to come
no,
on your
no,
show?
no, no.
No.
There's nothing like that.
Okay, so
Uh,
Francois definitely is.
it's like something like if
Okay,
I
okay.
want, he should be passionate enough, and whatever he's doing something good. That is what matters.
Actually, so Francois definitely he's a voice artist. I don't know if you would want to interview another voice artist, but he's a good person. And there's another person who I know. She's a choreographer. She's a dancer, and she comes on this show called Dance India Dance for Moms. Her name is Pallavi Tolye. She is a choreographer and a mother to a 6-year-old boy. And she is very, very passionate about dancing, and she teaches also. So I would love to see her on your show as well.
Yes, thank you, ma'am, for sharing those like people they could come on my show. But also, it would be really helpful if you could share
Yes,
their contacts, like on my mother's phone number maybe. And ma'am, lastly, I hope you
definitely,
enjoyed this
I would do.
show because I did, and I hope my
Oh,
viewers.
lovely, absolutely. Yeah,
Yes,
and
ma'am.
thank you so much, Aditya, for inviting me. This was really great. I didn't think I would speak so much, or I would be able to speak that much, but thank you for inviting me.
Yes, ma'am. It was my honor, and it was really interesting to talk to you. I learned a lot today. I hope my viewers you also learned a lot today. And well, ma'am. Lastly, ma'am, please give me any advice or anything you have liked about Aditya Talk.
The entire concept and the fact that you are so little and you're doing this, it is very, very it's really, it gives me immense pleasure that there are kids who are thinking on these lines, and especially you, Aditya, what you're doing is great. Because when I thought of the name Pallavi's name, I realized, oh my god, this is a great platform. Because There are kids like you who are not interviewing people, but they're out there. They're listening to all kind of YouTube TED talks and yay and go. And for them to have access to actual people who in the professions and their struggle and their successes, it's just great. It's good stuff you're doing. All the best. Keep smiling. Hmm.
Ma'am, thank
That's
you.
my advice.
Thank you for
Thank
those
you.
words of encouragement, and it was really great to talk to you. And I learned a lot today. And let's keep in touch, ma'am.
Me too. Me too. Thank you, Aditya. You have a great day.